think that my observation is that talking about hate speech is not necessarily promoted by those who are involved in the electioneering campaign. I think that it might be helpful if the committee find it worthwhile to invite men and women of God so that they don't turn the places of worship to preach hate. I have seen video clips of people in places of worship describing people in colors that obviously are unfair. And so it is not only in the hands of, or in the mouth of politicians or political parties. I think non-political organizations can do even much more violence and promote hate speeches much more. Because for a politician, you are looking at, if you amplify religion in one location where it suits you, and you are reported, and these days you cannot hide news. You can't pay off the editor not to publish, because everybody now is an editor. The younger you are, everybody is a reporter, everybody can publish. Now you go to the other side where people practice a different religion. What are you going to tell them? But we do have, and I have seen, places of worship almost be turned to campaign grounds. I think it's unhelpful. I think it's very dangerous, because you give people false sense of whether a man is a Muslim or a Christian from the evidence on ground. Those who have done violence to our national interests, national prosperity, mismanage our economy, bastardize the future of the youth, undermine education, and all of the things that explain the gap between our promise and where we are. I think that those institutions need to come under focus. They must be told to separate religion. But really, a man who believes in God can't preach hate. So if we exclude those ones, and they keep using places of worship to preach hate and to suggest that I'm a Catholic, that I'm better off if another Catholic is elected. Of course, I know that even within the Catholic Church, some cheat. I've been to a church where somebody tell me to watch my pocket, because there have been another person who is going after my phone. So I think that religious institutions should be encouraged to mind their business, to stay out of politics, not to use places of worship, to preach hate, to amplify religious divide, and compound the primordial sentiments that are already unhelpful. People talk about ideology. In the absence of issues that we associate on the basis of tribe, ethnicity, etc. Yeah, we know that when a countryman steals, he doesn't steal on behalf of his community. The second is, a gentleman raised a point which the chairman seems to think it's not important, but I think it's something worth reflecting on. Because we are looking at free and fair election. Now, for election to be free and fair, the people must be able to vote, or their vote must reflect their will, not just in terms of vote buying. I'm looking at a possible ballot paper, having voted a couple of times in my life, and you have 90 party symbols, and you ask my age mom, in a typical rural Nigeria where most people can't see, on a good day they can't see well, the sheer size and numbers of symbols is enough to confuse even some professors if they are not with their glasses. So, and I think that, for me, is an issue without compromising the right of freedom of association. We have to exercise that right responsibly. Because the business of political party formation and politicking ought to be seen as something serious, because it will define our future. So maybe it's something we need to engage ourselves. We talk of ideology. Do we have up to 90 ideologies, whether from the right to the left, to the extreme right, to the extreme right? And talking of purpose, that the only business to make money, there are people who are also suspicious that people form parties as a way to negotiate. This is not the promise. It couldn't have been the promise. It couldn't have been the intention. So I ask all of us to recognize that what is at stake goes beyond our individuals. The other issue, which I will not speak too directly on it, I think that it's a matter of common sense and established tradition that when you start a process, you've rang the bell, and people are filed out in the field of play, I'm not sure how helpful to begin to try to change the rules just when the match has already begun. Because those who are going to play ought to have mastered the rules and train on the basis of the rules as they exist. But to begin to try to change rules when we are already in the field of play, I'm not sure how helpful. Which raises the issue about motive. People have powers. It must go with wisdom and responsibility. But let me assure you, on my part, I have been an advocate of one man, one vote, because that is the only way people like me could have survived. Physically, I'm not so endowed. I can't afford to agree even if I wish to. And I didn't come from a background where people accumulate and then they can procure. What I rely on is the power to persuade, to enlighten, and to convince people that most people listening to speakers here, we all seem to have that quality. And if that is sustained, then it is possible for the son of a farmer like me to become whatever. So I am fully in agreement. We fought one man, one vote, and I found that people can buy into it, internalize it, and recognize that they can defeat votes. I've also fought against vote buying in Edo State when I was there. I see a multi-billionaire feeding people on election day, being supervised by agents of the state at the time, and yet we are able to win because the people can connect and resonate with the issues we are raising. So I think that to eliminate vote buying requires a lot of things, including having credible basis for the electorate to choose. Later, Gumudia told me that if the electorate think that the 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 persons of parade are all thieves, and they all go into it according to what somebody said, because that is the only way they're going to make their money. If the people believe that, then they'll ask you to pay advance deposit, because they are not going to see you until the next 4 years. So this thing is a complex issue. We do need to discuss it. And it's a subject that can engage, it's worth discussing for a whole day. But on my side, I believe the super party is Nigeria. And if we have good government, everybody can win. Everybody will be a winner. So I support everything you've said. With the document I've seen, I will take my own back to my party office and discuss my people and see if there are new ideas we want to add in the light of what has happened between 2015 and 2019, because the world is dynamic and the issues we are discussing are also very dynamic. But I'm very appreciative of your efforts, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.